Hey guys, it's Ryan Leonard with Wolfnest Property Management. Today, wanted to talk to you about a fun article that we have. It's 5 questions that you need to answer before becoming a landlord or a do-it-yourself landlord, meaning you are going to manage the property and not have a property management company. I talked to a lot of individuals who are considering renting their current residence, moving into a new home, and kind of weighing the options between, do I do it myself? Do I have a manager do it? What services do you have? So these are some things that you should really focus on when you're making that decision. Now, the first one is, do you have time to be a landlord? The article that you read, or that's going to be attached to this video, is going to have some kind of a fun drill for you to try. It's really grab a sheet of paper and write down all your responsibilities. That's parental or relationship, family, your full-time job, anything like exercise, or just anything that you have in a given day, and then come up with how much free time do you have. Now, keep in mind that that free time is going to probably be occupied by some of the responsibilities of being that landlord. Now, don't get me wrong. Usually where you're going to have the most responsibilities is usually during vacancies. Getting a property ready, handling showings, leasing, the screening piece, and all of that, which can go pretty quickly. But those late night, 2 a.m. Emergency maintenance calls from your tenant, or having to drive over and collect rent each month are things that can really, kind of take up that free time that you have, which may already be limited. So really, again, find out how much free time you actually have to be that landlord. That's kind of a good first step. Next one is, do you know how to be a effective property manager? So a big thing with property management, it's not just collecting rent. You're wearing a lot of hats. You're going to be a maintenance tech. You're going to be a leasing or showing agent. You're going to be maybe an eviction attorney. You're going to be wearing multiple hats. So making sure that you have all the tools necessary or everything that you need to be an effective manager or have that network is a big question you need to ask yourself before doing it yourself. Now, this isn't a very important one. I think, a topic or a subject that not many people think about, but the laws behind being a landlord. Now, one thing that you will have to do, or I highly recommend if you're going to be a DIY landlord, is take the Good Landlord certification class. It's kind of a crash course that's offered online that's going to give you some resources, but a lot of what to do's and what not to do's that elaborate a little bit more than just what we have here. But making sure that you are up to date with Utah Fair Housing laws, Utah Fit Premises Act, things that you want to make sure that you're doing or you have in your lease agreement to avoid $10,000 fines. It's definitely something that you want to look into. And again, one of the benefits of having a property manager, that's stuff that we have taken care of for you. But there are resources out there to do this yourself. Feel free to reach out and I can give you some of the links to those so you can do some digging. Now, this is kind of similar to the one before. Do you have the necessary tools? So when you are a property manager or a landlord, you're going to have really a vast network that you're going to need to be able to manage that property. So, for example, they use the analogy of a singer without a microphone. That's kind of the same thing as a landlord without the necessary tools or vendors or network to be able to manage that property. If you have a tenant that reaches out at 2 a.m. and there's no hot water heater or the furnace is down in the dead of winter, that's not something that you can, just put on the back burner for a week or 10 days. That's really considered a 3-day issue, meaning you need to make substantial corrective action within 3 days, otherwise that tenant could be breaking their lease. So making sure that you have, again, all the tools, like do you have portals online for your tenants to be able to pay? Do you have a great lease agreement that's going to hold up in court? Do you have the move-in checklist or the video cameras or photos that you need to hold the tenant accountable for damage come the deposit disposition? So making sure you have those tools is definitely a key piece to be able to manage that property effectively. And the last one, this is actually where I get a lot of new clients, is when they have been doing themselves, but they can't deal with the conflict anymore. So you got to have some tough skin. At the end of the day, this is a business. That's how we run your investment property or your rental property, like a business. and holding tenants accountable to that lease agreement. Are you okay with knocking on the door when rent hasn't been paid? If they're hostile to you, are you going to be able to handle that? Do you have the network to make sure that you're going to be safe or do it the correct way, or really by the law? So again, a big piece of this is how tough is your skin? Now, a lot of times we have great tenants. But if a tenant isn't paying or they're damaging the property, that's where we're really good and really where we pay for ourselves, because we're going to take that risk on and get that property back to you, or under management, make sure that it's safe. So again, conflict can be a big one. If you are in a situation where you're concerned, or they have made threats, don't let that happen. Give us a call. This is all my contact information right here. Even if you're not looking for a property manager, but if you find yourself in a hostile environment with your tenant, give me a call. I'll be happy to give you some recommendations or some introductions to some individuals to help get you out of that situation and really be safe. Or if you want to discuss your portfolio, go over this list a little bit more in depth, give me a call, shoot me an email. I'll be happy to go over it in more depth. So hope to hear from you soon. Thanks.